Okay, so Apple did their announcement yesterday. Let's talk about it. So overall, they had like really one new product and 3 refresh products or 4 refresh products, but we'll just go ahead and go through the website and take a look at it. So I will go ahead and have their website linked in the description below. So if you go to apple.com and first, if you want to watch the whole presentation, you can, but I'm just going to give you a breakdown of what they talked about, because in my opinion it's not worth the whole 1 hour for that whole stream. So for the most part, let's start with the green iPhone. So they announced a revised color of the iPhone 13 and 13 Pro. So now you have this, I want to call it like jungle green, but they call it alpine green. So it is what it is. Nothing changed about the iPhone itself, just the color. Yeah, the green iPhone. All right, so then the next thing they talked about was the iPad Air. They have a M1 iPad Air. Cool. You get the power of the M1 chip in the iPad, and it has a 12 megapixel wide 12 megapixel wide angle camera, and it also has the new center stage feature that they've been using since last year on certain devices. So okay, cool. But here's what's not cool about the iPad Air, right? They're starting the price at $599, and it's only for 64 gigs. So if you want to upgrade to the next variant, which is a 256, you would have to basically spend $749 to get the upgraded variant. But it is what it is. I think they just need to get rid of the 64 gig models, period. But that's the way they want to do things. Then now the next thing they talked about was that iPhone SE. So I believe this is the 3rd gen of iPhone SEs. If not, I have it updated below. But so yeah, they talked about the iPhone SE. You've got it in 3 colors. You got it in product red, you've got it in white, and you've got it in black. So there you go. But also, once again, they wanted to make sure that they let you know that you are getting the power of the A15 Bionic chip. So basically that's the same chip that's in the iPhone 13 and 13 Pro. You just now get that in the SE model, that small little form factor. And yeah, you get better cameras. I believe they said they have deep fusion in there. They didn't really mention anything about the center stage, which kind of seemed to be a recurring theme throughout this whole presentation. Center stage, center stage, center stage. But I don't think the iPhone SE has center stage. If it does, I'll indicate that below. Next. All right, so we went through kind of the basic things. So next, then here's the last 2 products, one of which is one I'm the most excited about, and the other one is, I guess it might be for somebody else, but not for me. So the one that I'm not that excited about is the 5K monitor. I mean, Apple already does have a previous iteration of a 5K monitor. I'm not sure if it's, this same product line. But once again, they're touting, wide P3 color gamut, center stage. It has a webcam that has center stage on it, and it's a monitor, and they're charging $1,500 for it. Let me backtrack a little bit. So the Apple iPhone SE is also $429. So this monitor is going to be $1,599, and then they also talked about the final product that I'm excited about, which is the Mac Studio. So the Mac Studio is basically the rumored new updated Mac Mini they were talking about. So it's basically a Mac Mini format powerhouse for the most part. So you've got two variations of that. So now you've got the M1 Max chip, which from last year, which was crazy. And then now you have the M1 variant, the M1 Ultra variant. So that is bananas. So just looking at the specs. All right, so on the M1 Max, we're getting, you get a 10 core CPU, 24 core GPU, and a 16 core neural engine. So with so if you want the Ultra version, you've got a 20 core CPU, 48 core GPU, and a 32 core neural engine. So what does that equate to? All this blah 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 hoopla. So it's basically, you're basically getting top of the line specs. You're getting top of the line performance. Like you're definitely using this for, you know, heavy duty video editing, anything that you would want to do. Like if you're like a person who shoots music videos, you gotta shoot, you know, videos, whatever. Anything in a creative atmosphere. This is these are basically what you would want to use. So starting price of the M1 Max version is at $2,000. So to put things into perspective, the MacBook Pro that came out last year was starting at $2,500. This one's starting $500 less. I would say it's a no-brainer to probably, for the most, I think most people are gonna fall into the range of the M1 Max model versus the M1 Ultra. Ultra is just overkill. All right, it's nice to have, but it is basically, looking at those specs, it is looking like it's overkill. However, for me, if I was to go for the M1 Max, I would probably opt in for the extra. I would probably opt in for the 1 terabyte hard drive versus the 512 that comes included with their package. Just because for me, I just can't do anything less than a terabyte SSD. Looking at the presentation, the thing I was most excited about, obviously, is the Mac Studio. The monitors, whatever, the iPhones, whatever, the iPad. But granted, I think they all have their purpose and they have different demographics. But for me, I know I wasn't the target demographic of those devices. But the M1 Max chip going into the new, well, I would still want to call it a Mac Mini, but they call it a Mac Studio. Man, that's good. So overall, what would I rate this presentation? I mean, it was kind of meh. You know, this is like the one product, there's only one product there that excited me, and I think that might be the one product that may excite a lot of people. But I didn't really have my expectations high anyway. I was just kind of just here looking to see whatever Apple was going to announce. But honestly, that Mac is where it's at. That Mac Studio is where it's at. So either way, thanks for watching. Definitely leave a comment down below. Hit a like button. Subscribe if you want to. And I will catch you guys on the next video. Peace.